If you can focus like a laser beam, you can get pretty much anything you want. The reason why it's so hard nowadays to manifest and why things feel like they're not going the right way is because your attention is all over the place. For the most part, our attentions are just all over the place because you got media, you got your phone now, you got your cell phone, you're pretty much like a cyborg at this point. You're like attached to your phone all day long. And it makes us connect us together and gets us all closer together. But at the same time, like, if you figure out how much of a distraction your phone is and like how you're only on one app for like a couple minutes and you switch to another one and switch to another one, that's crazy because what are you focused on? You know how hard it is to just, and this is coming from me, to just sit for like 5 minutes, just sit and do nothing for 5 minutes. Like, it's so hard to do nowadays. I'm sure some of you out there are doing that and you're fine, but like, you know, me for instance, I'm like, holy shit, dude, like I can't even sit down for 5 minutes sometimes and just chill. And you know, you got to really be able to sit down sometimes and think, you know, what am I going for? Use your focus. That's why goals are so important and they work so well. Like, statistically speaking, if you have goals, you are going to be more successful than someone who doesn't have goals of whatever success means to you. You will accomplish what you want to accomplish more than those people who don't have goals will. Because if you have a goal, that's your focus point. You're like, okay, this is my goal. It's on a piece of paper. It's in physical reality. It's right in front of me. And this is what I want to accomplish. So now your brain is like, oh, cool. This is what you want to do. At least we got something to focus on. And then that will help manifest or put people in your life or the right circumstances to help you accomplish that goal. Like, if you focus on something, believe you'll have it, like actually believe you'll have it, but put no expectation on it, as in like, it has to happen this way. No. You're not supposed to know how something's going to happen. You just got to have faith that it'll happen and do inspired action. So like, don't just do a lot of action just because you feel like that's what you have to do. Do it with inspiration. So if you have inspired action, then it won't even feel like work. That's the entire point. If it's like feeling like it just sucks and you don't like doing it, then don't do it. It's obviously not something you should be doing, or come at it in a different light, come at it in more positive light on that. And when you're focused on the goals, you know what you want to do. You have to tell yourself, you have to tell your brain, this is what I want. And then use your inspired action where you're like, oh, this is a great idea. I need to go do this. Then do that. That's inspired action. And that will help you tremendously because it's just focusing. Sit down a couple times a day and just think, what am I focusing on? Where are my thoughts? A lot of people don't like hearing their thoughts because your thoughts most of them are negative. And that's because we're just human, right? We have a lot of negative thoughts, like 80% of our thoughts are negative. But if you start realizing the negative ones, and you're like, wait a minute, you're focusing on those negatives, you'll be like, I don't believe that. I want to change that, and I want to start thinking something different. And you start thinking more positive. Every time you hear something negative that you hear in your mind, talking to yourself, just change it to a positive. But you need your focus and to sit down for like a minute and be like, okay, yeah, my thoughts are here. I need to change that. And sometimes that's just listening to positive affirmations. If you can listen to positive affirmations, it's still programming you in some way, shape, or form, even if you don't believe it, because at some point, you're not listening to positive affirmations right now. And if you are, great, keep doing that. And then you'll know what I'm talking about when I say you'll start to believe it. And when you're listening to positive affirmations, it's something you have not been used to listening to. Instead of watching the news, listen to 15 minutes of positive affirmations, or even 5 minutes, even 1 minute. Just something. Start that habit. It's all about getting the habit too. I mean, I could talk about all this stuff. You could do all this stuff. But like, if you don't have a habit of like consistently doing this every day, it's just gonna be something you're like, oh, this sounds like a great idea. You're gonna do it for a little bit, you're gonna stop, and then you're just gonna be like, why is shit getting out of hand again? It's because you need to start focusing on stuff and to have some sort of routine that helps you out every day. Even if it's just 15 minutes of just sitting down, reflecting on the day, focusing on what you want during the day. And if that's it, it's 15 minutes, that's all you need. Then you at least put yourself in some sort of course, and then throughout the day, things will come into your life that will help you get to where you want to be. Because the world works a certain way. Like, it all works based on laws and law of attraction. It's just, you attract who you are. It's that simple. What are you thinking? That's what you're attracting. If you're thinking negative thoughts, you're going to attract negative results. You're going to attract negative people. It's just that simple. But the thing is, we like to complicate stuff. And we're like, oh, it's just not that easy. And then you have this whole entire thing you told yourself, this whole entire story that you told yourself that you have to believe in, when it's like, well, that's not true. Like, if things bad happen to you, it's okay. You're supposed to feel that. You're a human being. But don't live in that. Don't live in that moment. It doesn't exist anymore. And yes, it does define you up until a point, but that's also your choice. You're the one choosing for it to define you. Some people get in a terrible accident, it defines them, they're miserable the whole life. Some people get in a terrible accident, it's the best thing that's ever happened, and they're the most happiest, grateful people you'll ever meet. It's just all perspective. You can choose to be in a bad mood, you can choose to be in a good mood. And it's your inner world that creates your outer world. It's your inner world that creates your outer world. Most people look at the outer world and are like, this, I want to create this. I have to go and do this, and I have to do all these things to get this. But they're living in lack because they feel they have to do all this just to get one thing. That's living in lack. That's a mindset. Have you noticed some people, they just get everything and they don't do shit? And you're like, why? I have this situation sometimes where I know some people, I'm like, how the hell did you do that? I'm over here busting my ass, learning about money, all this stuff, and you're just making all this money. And I'm like, what the hell? And that's because usually it's those people that just don't care. And they have a lot of confidence in themselves. Like, you see a lot of dumb people on the internet that have got a lot of confidence in themselves, but they're pretty dumb to you. And you're like, how are they making $30 million a year? Right? It's confidence. It's these people, believe it or not, these dumb people we think, they got hell of confidence and they know they can do it. If you know you can do something, you can do anything you want. And these kids nowadays, they just think they can do whatever they want, and they end up doing whatever they want, and they make a shit ton of money. I want you guys to write down one goal you have for tomorrow. One goal. One goal that will challenge you to manifest it. Like, what's one thing you want to manifest tomorrow? And if you don't manifest it tomorrow, think about it again and again and again until you manifest it. But think about just one simple thing. Even if it's going to Starbucks and getting a free cup of coffee. Just something simple. Or like that parking spot you want. Just have one goal tomorrow. And just think about that. Whatever is going on, just think about one goal. I want you guys to comment below what that goal is for tomorrow and tell me when you guys manifest it. I will see you guys in the next one.